So you want to lose weight, but you've been told that in order for you to lose the weight that you want to lose, you need to cut carbs, and you love carbs. But what if you didn't have to cut carbs? What if you could lose all the weight that you want to lose and still eat all of those carbs that you love eating? Is that even possible? Well, in today's video, I'm going to share with you exactly how you can eat all the carbs that you want to eat and still lose weight. So, let's get into the video. All right, guys, so before we get into the video, my name is MrFitness, the body transformation specialist, and on my channel, I talk a lot about weight loss, but I also talk about a lot of other topics related to weight loss. So if you want the absolute best information on how you can lose the most amount of weight, the quickest, with the least amount of effort, then you're definitely going to want to consider subscribing to my channel and make sure you hit that bell notification so you never, ever miss another weight loss tip. Now, with that being said, let's get into the video. So the first thing you need to do to lose weight without cutting carbs is to focus on eating clean. Now, I know you're probably saying, duh, Captain Obvious, of course we got to eat clean, but what exactly does eating clean mean? Because I think everybody's definition of what eating clean is a little bit different. So my definition of eating clean is making sure that you eat as close to nature as possible. And to keep it simple, what that just means is cutting out all your processed foods, cutting out all the junk. Now, you're probably even saying, but what if I like eating junk? You told me that I could eat all the carbs that I want to eat and still lose weight. Well, just hold on. Hear me out, because I'm not finished. Just hold on. So you've heard the saying before, everything in moderation. And when I say eating clean and I say eating as close to nature as possible, that doesn't mean that you always got to eat clean. That just means that you mostly got to eat clean. So you can still eat some of those quote unquote not so friendly weight loss foods and still get to where you want to be. But instead of cutting out carbs, instead of cutting out the junk, instead of cutting out any carbs, focus on eating these types of carbs. Focus on eating foods like oats, like quinoa, like couscous, like long grain brown rice, and even foods like sweet potatoes. You see, these types of carbs are higher in fiber, so what that's going to do is that's going to actually help keep you full longer, but also help to kill your sweet tooth, kill your appetite to eat the crap. Well, I probably shouldn't say kill your appetite to eat the crap, because you're probably still going to want to eat the crap, but after eating foods like this, you'll want to eat much less crap. You see, when you eat foods that are unprocessed, your body knows what to do with those foods. Your body's going to use those foods for things like building, like repair, and like energy. And the more of those foods that your body uses, the more of those calories and those nutrients that your body uses for those things, guess what? The less of those foods your body is going to have, or the less of those nutrients, those calories, your body's going to have to store. So the second thing you can do to lose weight without cutting carbs is to moderate what you eat through tracking. Now, I know for this next one, I'm going to have people all in my DMs, people in the comments trying to debate me on this topic. But over the years, I've helped plenty of people eat all the carbs that they want. I probably shouldn't say all the carbs that they want, because remember, everything in moderation. But I can say that over the years, I've helped people be able to eat the foods that they really enjoy eating and still be able to lose weight. Now, the key to being able to do this is to make sure that you're not overdoing those foods. Again, everything in moderation. You see, the problem with saying that you're never ever going to eat those foods, and the problem with thinking that you can't eat those foods in order to lose weight, is if that's how you feel, and you cut carbs and you think that you can never eat those foods in order to lose weight, and you cut those carbs, you cut those foods that you really enjoy eating, here's what's going to happen. See, that may be a very short-term solution, and you may not eat those foods for a little bit of time. But eventually, at some point in your life, you are going to eat those foods, and you may end up binging. But if not binging, you will end up, at least for a short period of time, relapsing and overeating those foods more than you should. Now, the key to this one is having some level of self-control. And even I've got foods that I know I have a very hard time controlling how much of them I eat. So I know myself, I don't eat them. But you may have those foods as well, and I would suggest right now staying away from those foods. But there are other foods. Well, stay away from those foods until you can get enough control over those foods to where you can eat them without overdoing it. But when it comes to tracking, you want to have a target. You want to know how much of those foods that you can eat and still lose weight. And if you want any help, go down below in the description. I got my link to my coaching program where I can teach you how much of those foods that you enjoy eating you should be eating. But when you find out that target, you want to use apps like MyFitnessPal to help you keep those limits under control, still be able to eat the foods that you love eating, and still be able to lose weight. And the third thing you can do to lose weight without cutting carbs is to try some form of intermittent fasting. Look, the macronutrients, carbs, protein, and fats, those foods are important. Which of those you eat is important. But at the end of the day, how much of them you eat is probably just as important, if not more important, because you can overeat the quote unquote healthy foods and still gain weight. And a lot of people that have a hard time losing weight because they're eating all day long. And I'm not talking about the fact that you're eating nonstop throughout the course of the day, but what I am talking about is you eat a traditional American diet where you eat breakfast, and then you may eat a snack in between breakfast and lunch, and then you eat lunch, and then you may eat a snack in between lunch and dinner, and then you eat dinner, and then you may even have a bedtime snack. That's what I'm talking about with the eating all day long, because there's never really any long length of time where you're not eating. And this constant eating all day long makes it very difficult for your body to utilize the energy that you already have stored as fat. It makes your body it makes it almost impossible for you to utilize that energy, but it also makes it very easy for you to overeat. Now, one of the things that I've been able to do over my years in the fitness business as a coach to help a lot of my clients that had a hard time with eating carbs is to put them on some form of intermittent fasting schedule. Now, the main thing this is going to do, this intermittent fasting schedule, the main thing it's going to do is it's going to make it very difficult for you to overeat. You see, it's very easy to overeat when you're eating every 3 to 4 hours over like a 12 to 16 hour period. But when you shrink that down to a 6 to 8 hour period, it's very difficult to get the same amount of calories in that you would get over that 12 to 16 hour period in that traditional American diet. It's very difficult to get that amount of calories in to a shorter period of, let's say, 6 to 8 hours. So again, the benefits of doing this is it's going to make it much harder for you to overeat, which in turn makes it much easier for you to lose weight. Now, most people that start intermittent fasting do not have an easy time doing it. And the main reason is because you've gotten your body so used to eating all day long that you're going to notice, at least initially, that you're going to be hungry at times where you're normally used to eating. So one way to combat this is put your eating window during times of the day where you notice that you're normally hungry. So if you notice that you normally have the food cravings later in the day and you're going to pick, let's say, an 8-hour eating window, then you would want to put your 8-hour eating window where the end of that eating window would be somewhere towards that time of the day where you notice that you're normally hungrier at. So now that you know the 3 things that you can do to be able to help you lose weight without cutting carbs, I've got a question for you. Which of these 3 things do you plan on implementing first to allow you to be able to still eat those carbs and lose weight? Comment below and let me know. And did you know that if you're trying to lose weight, there are 3 times that you should never work out? Well, if you didn't know, then check out this video right here where I go over the 3 worst times to work out if you're trying to lose weight. Check it out.